'cause I don't ever want no one else but you. 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 We're still in our first year of marriage.
Yeah.
Oh, anyway, in our second year, leading to our second year. Yeah, and I guess it's been a lot of like learning. Figuring stuff out.
Yeah.
And knowing, oh snap, okay, so this is how it is. Oh, so this is what we need to do. Oh snap. So yeah, there was a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And learning from those mistakes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel like right now we're at a better place because we've kind of seen what the downside is of not having a plan for saving, for emergencies, and I guess even like investments and stuff. So we've kind of seen what that looks like, and so now we're at a better place. In terms of even like saving and doing that.
Yeah.
Ho, ho, ho.
Do you want to start?
Yeah, it's been a roller coaster. For me, in all honesty, I thank God for my wife. Yeah, because I think, like I said, when we were just in our courtship, I was in a bad state financially. Yeah, I was a mess financially because, I didn't have a job. Still looking, I was hustling the streets, trying to make a living, trying to earn some money, Then God opens this door to marriage and just like, what's going on? But thank God, in the journey towards marriage, I was just like, okay, maybe let's pack the hustle for now. Let's find a job. So I praying about it, and thankfully, a month before we got married, God opened the door. So I started working, started earning something. But I think that overall, between the two of us, like I said initially, I'm the spender. So, and the spending can be handsome at times, Yeah, so there was very little proper planning. I think the best that I would do is make a budget. Yeah, so when we would make a budget.
Did you follow the budget?
That is the question. Yeah, I was quite diligent with making it, and remaking it. Yeah, so I think over the years it kind of dawned on us that we needed work. Well, I needed work in just trying to be more financially literate.
Yeah.
Just understanding the dynamics of finances in the home. I think also like the sharp contrasts in terms of how like our relationship with money. Like I think she had still has a healthier relationship with money than I did. And I think when it kind of like dawned on me, of course, our premarital counseling also helped because then I think the basic principle for us was that, there's nothing like your money, my money, his money, their money, like it's our money. So
I can spend it.
Exactly. So I'd get my pay, declare, of course, at the border, as our counselors would say, declare all sources of income. And I think that's an area that we haven't struggled with. I think from the get-go, just declaring our income and ensuring that we are spending it together. Yeah, no, of course not. But ensuring that their household income is, what she's bringing in, what I'm bringing in, and then of course, I think it's on the spending. That's where the issues have been. Okay, because I'd be very generous. Yeah, maybe that's the part where you come in now. Because she's the mathematician, she's the number person, she's the, the savings person, she's the village banking person, Like she has all these like theatrics around, like, where we can plug our money, multiply our money and stuff like that.
Did you?
Yeah, and me on the other hand, I make the money. Yeah.
When we first got married, I think that I was the responsible one and he was the irresponsible one. When it comes to finances, that is. And our birth order played a huge role in this because I'm a firstborn and he's a lastborn. So there would be times where he just buys things and he just show up in the house and it's like, eh. And it wasn't like small things. These were like big purchases, And yeah, we would get into arguments about that and there would be ultimatums thrown on the table, threats. No, you have to sell this thing. We need the money back.
I bought a PlayStation 3.
With no conversation. Zero
As
conversation.
soon as it landed in the house, it was sold.
Yeah.
But yeah, the journey, aside from what she said, I think had the right foundations. We had the privilege of being counseled by people who gave us this method of dealing with finances, and they said no, it's a one pot thing, put your money together, do a budget, and then figure out where everything is going. I think from the time we got married, we that's what we did.
I think we went 6 months not doing that, and then we got that advice, and then it changed.
Okay, I don't remember the.
I remember us having a budget. We had a budget together, but we didn't put all our money together. So there was like, you get this much, so you cover this on the budget, and you get this much, so you cover this other stuff.
Okay.
And then afterwards, we would put our money together. It wasn't you're paying this and he's paying this. It was, okay, we've put our money together. What's our total? Where's our budget? And then things go out from one pot is what we were told.
Yeah. So the foundation was great. But again, there was that thing of wanting to still go back to the single days where you just do whatever you want. So it was hard just trying to relearn that, that now I'm living with this person and this is. We're doing stuff together, and she needs to know everything about whatever I have. We are now one.
We plan together.
We execute together. So it didn't. I'm happy. Like that's one of the areas in our journey that I'm really thankful to God that we didn't do anything else from the beginning. Like we knew what we made, however little it was, we knew what we made, and we moved like that.
There were no secret bank accounts or hidden pay slips or anything like that.
So it evolved because in the beginning she was handling
because I couldn't
manager.
Trust you.
Because I would have bought.
I was like, no, we need to, So I was handling our finances until we started having babies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, until I was pregnant with Kiara, our second, and I was on bed rest and with a toddler. So it was just like, okay, I can't. So he then took over the finances, and at that point he had, evolved a bit, and the Lord had done some work.
Lord has done some work.
Some work.
But before we, just an encouragement on that part, because one of the things that I struggled with a lot was, how do you plan to the T?
To your lasting goal.
What if I just want to take I want to bless somebody, or somebody says, no, give me some money, or a family member said, hey, do you have? And then I'm like, so, but the thing is, before you even get there, develop the discipline. So you have to develop the discipline. Once you've put parameters in place, then when the system starts working, then you can say, hey, I think we need a giving fund.
Yeah, or an allowance, play
I think
money.
we need. So it evolved. So starting from just the discipline and what we were doing, there was very little to do anything else. We'd put airtime money there, stuff like that, or this is what we're buying. But then it evolved to, we need to have some money on the side, so you get this, you get that, so that you can do your hair, you can do your what,
manage your own
you
stuff.
can manage sort of your own stuff, but it's still in the budget.
Yeah.
So the budget thing never ended, but there were some leeway, or some stuff that
as our finances grew,
as they grew and stuff.
Because when you're broke, you're broke.
Yeah.
So as our finances grew, we also kind of gave each other room. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is kind of a lifelong journey. Let me say that.
And it's very like
yeah. So when it comes to finances, there's stuff that we learn in theory, and then there's also the practical part of how things really act. For us, I think it's been a constant school for us in terms when it comes to finance. We're still trying to sort of like really work through it, because there are so many things that we would want to do, so many things that we would want to sort of like plan around, but we are still kind of like getting at it. The good part is because of our value system, there are certain things that we consider to be like, oh no, we can't do this. Yeah. Or we won't just sort of like spend aimlessly, in as much as we like certain things, but obviously we take it that we need to live a little as we are sort of like working through it. Yeah. So being entrepreneurs, I think for them, let me just say I started being an entrepreneur when maybe around 2018.
Yes, around 2018, he sort of transitioned into like doing both, I think.
Yeah,
and then
it was a bit of both.
eventually, so like he had a full-time job, and then he was also doing his own business, and then eventually shifting completely into full-time business. And then I also became an entrepreneur in 2020 after I left my job. Yeah, so like four years of like full-time, both of us.
Yeah.
It's the jungle.
But one of the things that we've sort of like tried to sort of like put up was we are working on trying to grow our sources of income. That's firstly. Then build our savings coffers. So we have that. So those are sort of like the two main objectives. But being entrepreneurs, what we've found out is that everything demands our finances. Like just for us, even if we have to try out something, we're thinking we've got all these brilliant ideas, or maybe we just need to be like, what if we did such and such a product? Maybe we saw it online. This would be good for the market because this is not something that people have right now. I'm thinking that this will be a hit. Yeah. But then again, we still need to send resource towards that, channel resource towards that. But how are we going to channel resources towards that if we have very little streams of income that are coming in? I think that's sort of like been our biggest
drawback when it comes to sort of like really being, because the thing is, our main aim is just to make sure that we become financially independent.
I think it's okay if I check out like a scripture. I was gonna say for like when we look at our journey from when we got married through like every different season financially, one thing that's been consistent is that we've always been on the not like every single time on the same page, but we always make our decisions together. We love to actually sit down and talk and say, okay, what are we planning to do in terms of like, okay, where are our finances going? What do we want to do with the money? It's never been my money, our money. Yeah. It's never been like that because we believe that we are actually like one, and we need to actually make those decisions, especially big financial decisions, together. So this is Philippians 4:12. Paul says, I know how to be brought low, and I know how to abound. In any and every circumstance, I have learned the secret of facing plenty and hunger, abundance and need. And really, like for us, we've been through like the different seasons financially, and we've had a whole lot. Like seasons where there was so much fruit, and seasons where it was just like this one. But through each season, the constant has been God has been an able provider. There's never been a situation where we went hungry or we didn't have a place to sleep. There's a friend of ours who likes to joke that our broke is brocade. Sometimes it doesn't feel brocade, but we've seen God's hand in our finances, and a lot of people always complain about, hey, you're living paycheck to paycheck. Hey, living paycheck to paycheck. I haven't started a business. It's hard because living invoice to invoice. I posted a video about this. You don't know when the money is coming. You know, eventually it'll come, but you really just like, you trust God, and then also you, like he said, you put yourself in a position where you don't end up trusting God and being at the mountain, but you're not putting your hand to anything, because God does definitely bless the work of our hands. We have a role to play. So we've always been very like enterprising, even looking at the fact that we have a business. So we do branding, advertising, that kind of stuff. And you know, like he's a designer, so we'll have like maybe like a main client, and that's where our main source, our main income is coming from. Excuse me. But at the same time, we're doing a whole lot of other things. I've sold kids' clothes, pajamas and stuff. I bake. I've had a baking business for a while, even though Zesco was really the most. But like, you know, like he'll have like the main place where we get our income from, but there's still like other jobs that we're working through. We've sold merch. So just like we always have different streams of income, because we always just say we can't just sit and wait. Yeah, the money is going to fall like manna. We actually need to work, find whatever it is. Who's that who said that? Something about Savannah weekday. Like Savannah weekday, like we've never been above doing like work, even if it involves our physical hands, to actually make money. And you know, like take care of ourselves, take care of our kids. And now we have like 2 kids, and for us 2022 into 23 was very difficult financially, because we had like one major client that we had put all our attention on, and they were just not paying for months and months, I think for the whole year actually. And it was very taxing, but what got us through is actually the other stuff that we do, so the baking and you know, like things like that. We were able to cover every single bill. And in the same year, we even took our daughter to see a specialist for her eyes. So like really, we've known what it means to have little and to have much, but through it all, we've seen God's faithfulness.
The time that we were getting married, by then I was the spender, and she has always been the person that has been, what can I say? She will always do the math before doing something. Yeah. So I think it brought some balance. Yeah. At the end of the day, I felt like, look, I can't run a home. Here's the money. You run, do whatever you can. Yeah. But then I've been learning in the past recent years that when you work together, it's better, it's easier that side. There's a time that she mentioned it a number of times. She said, if you don't tell me how much we have, I will make a budget out of what is not there, which will end up being in a conflict. So disclosure is important, so that she knows that, okay, there's this amount of money, then we can work around it in that way. So, and then one other thing she didn't like, I think even up to now, is if I give a statement to say, I don't have money, and then I go and buy shoes. I don't have money. I'm going to buy something that she does not consider important at that time. Yeah. So he'd be like, but I thought you said you don't have money. So this is what makes me budget wrongly. Because I'll be thinking that we still have money to use for A, B, C, and D. And when I come to you, you tell me you don't have money. How? But you just bought sneakers. Yeah, I love shoes. Yeah, so I think that I'm just learning. It's good that I say it, like, she's the one that helps us have a balance, because with her, she's the one that thinks about investments. She's the one that talks about that, which has proven to be very helpful. Yeah, so I'm just on board now, helping. Yeah, but she's been the person that has really helped us be like on the right track when it comes to finances. Yeah,
I think also, like, getting into marriage, like, I think we talked about it, and we both had the thing of like, okay, we both reached the what word do I use? We both agreed that we'll save, like, we'll put some money away. You know, like, we had those talks that we'll save this amount, and we'll do. Yeah, we had a plan. That was the first thing we did in our first month of marriage. We made a plan, but we did not manage to follow that plan at all. And I think it brought a lot of hurt. It brought a lot of confusion, friction. It brought a lot of we got stuck at a certain point, and the thing is that we look back and are like, if we just followed our plan, we would have been in a better place financially right now. And just to give some background, this happened when we find, because that's the thing, right? Life will happen. Like, it's all fun, you're not saving, you're not doing what you said you would do, and then, like, something happens where, like, you need money.
Get sick.
I got sick, right? Yeah, I got sick.
We both got sick.
Yeah, we both got sick. By the time the way it, like, really erupted was that time when I was constantly getting sick. And yeah, it really got us to a point where, like, obviously because of the emotions of the time, and I think I was one in the wrong of, like, blame, like, now starting to play the blame game. We had to really, like, address a lot of things, you know, about how we make money, what we're doing with the money. And it was a hard conversation to have. It hurt to have the conversation. I feel like it would have been so avoided, but it's still stuff that I think has made us better. It's made us better. We've chosen to learn from it, because I think you can go through things and choose not to learn from it, but we've really chosen to learn from it because we don't want to be in that situation again. You know, we don't want to feel the way we felt or the way I felt and the way things came out. Like, we don't want to do that again. And so, yeah, for me also, and I feel like we did have a plan to save, and I just had to be vulnerable with him after. And it also took God, like, revealing it to me, because I didn't understand, like, we have a plan to save, but why am I brushing it off every month? Because again, also I feel like you also have to take ownership. Like, yes, we've decided to save, but in this us deciding to save, we're individuals, right? And so I have to also take ownership. He has to take ownership, and we both come together and say, okay, we've said that we're going to save, so why aren't we both taking ownership? And like Holy Spirit revealed to me, like, I didn't see the value in saving. Like, I felt like if we put money away, and I know it's very silly to say right now, but I felt like if we put money away, we won't have money to spend. Like, we have less money to spend, which is what happens.
The spend.
Yeah, so like every time it's time to put money away, I feel like I would have the thought every time money comes in. But at first, I was like, hey, we have more money. And when I opened up to him about how I felt about saving, he actually told me, like, it's actually the opposite. Because when you put money away to save, or you save money, you actually have more money than when you just have money to use and it goes. And yeah.
Obviously, statistics have shown that one of the reasons why marriages break
is because of finance.
Yes, one of the reasons why even wives cheat or go astray is because of finances. So finances is such an important component in a marriage, and I think also it goes both ways, like understanding, what is your expectation as a wife, because sometimes our bringings are wrong. We think my money is my money, your money is our money, and that gets to bring a lot of tension. I think for me, I think one of the reasons that helped me to be where I am, like even to understand, to love my husband for who he is because I think I was raised in a way that I was quite independent, maybe because of my job and so on. So left school and started working and took myself to school and stuff like that. So I think I was somehow, financially independent. And I think I struggled even in my relationship to get money from guys and stuff like that, even though somehow it became a problem because I felt like, I can take care of myself. You know what I'm saying? But thank God for premarital counseling. Thank God for the open and honest communication, because now I started to adjust and understand that he's the provider, he's the man of the relationship, and how do we sort of work together in this area, and how do we help one another? Because my husband is a spender. Like, if it goes with the kids, I'm just like anyways,
Father Christmas.
Yes, but then I talked about the differences earlier, to say it's the differences that we need to sort of know that so that we can sort of plan for them and maximize on their strengths. So for me, I think, to be honest, like looking back, I think would have made better financial decisions, to be honest.
100%.
And I think if there's something that if somebody was to ask me if we were to go back in time, like what are some of the things that we're going to do better as a couple, for me, I think it would have been financial management, financial literacy, because the interesting thing about marriage is that no matter how much literate you are financially, if your partner is not on the same page, and I think what also has helped us along the way is the fact that we are best friends, we talk, we are frank with each other. Because if we were not, like, one would have been frustrated, like you're trying to save and someone's trying to spend, because for me, like, my philosophy is, and you can't just be like broke, like have something on you.
You can't be cashless.
Yes, and on the other hand,
she's always talking about you can't be moving around without cash.
Not even 100 cash. But you're like,
I don't want to move with cash, because if I have cash, I will spend it.
But then even things like, so if you don't move with cash and then you don't have
you get stuck.
You don't have fuel for the car, and then they can't take a card, then what happens? You see? So for me, I always think about those possibilities. But all in all, like, if we're given an opportunity to do marriage again, like, I think one of the areas that we didn't do so well was this area of finances. Would have invested better, would have saved better, would have done pretty much everything better. But to thank God we're still here.
We have improved, though, for the records. I think You should testify that, that at least I'm making strides.
Okay, you are making it.
Yeah.
I
making
thought you
strides.
said you've improved.
Yes, both of us. Yeah, like you've become a better investor.
And then you?
I've become much less of a spender.
Since when?
Come on, it's supposed to be testifying.
Yeah, but then yeah. So that's about
Yeah, we would be millionaires by now. We will be millionaires.
At the beginning, we did use the envelope system, so we had envelopes that we would label. So we had rent, groceries, airtime, fuel,
When the money
giving,
comes,
and
goes
then we'd
in
split it
every
up
of the
and put
envelopes.
in the different envelopes. Some of them we still have them in our little
Yeah, we
safe.
do.
We still
We do.
have those
Oh,
envelopes,
yeah,
but
we
we don't
still
use
do.
them.
We don't use them.
We don't use them
It's
anymore, but they're there. But
Yeah.
that helped a lot because
Yeah.
you knew, like, okay, giving. If we put this amount in giving, and you've given everything,
If it's
if
done,
someone comes to us,
you
you
tell
don't
them I
have.
don't have. You don't have.
And
You
it's
don't,
the
really don't
truth.
have.
You really don't have
You can't go and get from the rent envelope.
to give.
No, we'll borrow from there. No. You
Yeah.
can't
So
do
we
that.
had savings. We had all the envelopes had. We wrote on them and labeled them.
Yeah.
Was there also an envelope for surprises?
So that was where the allowance had to come in.
Yes.
Yes.
So
So
for
at
stuff
least if he
like-
has his own money and I have my own money, when it's his birthday, I can buy a gift without him really knowing, because that money already came out and I can do with it what I want. But we had date night in the budget.
Yeah.
So date night, going for a movie or having like a dinner out didn't come from our pocket money.
Yeah.
It came from the budget.
envelope,
Yeah, we had a date night envelope. Yeah.
Very helpful.
It came to things like savings. You sometimes it's like I say, most of the times it's like theory is quite good, but you have to look at what's on the ground. So there was this instance where we had some money saved up. So we put it into this investment vehicle. So we can't really mention who it was, but so invested this money. First we put in the first amount installment. It lapsed a year. We got some interest. So they were supposed to send back their money. They sent part of the interest without sending the principal amount. I was like, anyway, they're gonna pay. So let's get another chunk and throw it in there.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
We put in a second installment. Another year lapsed. And then by the end of that year, we just found that this investment vehicle was no more.
Yeah, and they were being investigated,
things like
and
that.
it's going to court.
Things like that. So
Yeah.
we lost a great deal from that.
Yeah.
I think that was what? It's been how many years now? Maybe it's a good 6 years,
Yeah.
and nothing has been done about it.
Yeah.
We're looking at it, say, but we thought this is a legit business that sort of like has got a government body watching over,
Yeah.
and then this happens and we've lost out totally.
Yeah.
But we kept trusting God, and He's been faithful. We've had, this is what we were saying, we've had situations where we have abounded in what we have, and then we have got lack.
Yeah.
There's been instances where, like, if we have to try out new ideas for businesses, like I said, we're always working with the excess that we have. So if I say, for example, I had launched my merch business. The merch business, like around 2020, it was great because we've got networks. The networks really help to sort of like spread our word.
Yeah.
But even for that, the money that we had to use was pretty much what we had as an excess from
Like
our
from savings and
savings
stuff.
or day-to-day spend.
Yeah.
So this is how hard it gets sometimes, even when you have to look at getting finance to start up a business. So most of the times we try out ideas because we we just want to test the waters, right? We want to test the waters, and then if it works, then maybe now we start working backwards to build a proper business model that will sort of like now run, and so that the business is now self-sustaining.
From the very beginning, I remember when we had our counseling, we talked about finances, and we asked like how we think we would work around our finances, and it's difficult. I know it's easy when you're told, okay, this is what you're supposed to do, full stop. You both learned at the same time. But for you to go and actually do that application with two different people that have been handling their finances differently, it's actually not as easy as it looks to just get on board and now just start doing things differently, especially doing things together. I think it's more difficult not that it's more difficult. On the part of the spender, they'll feel like maybe you're restricting them, you're stopping them from using your money. And then also on the part of someone like me, who is always thinking about maybe saving and things like that, sometimes you get discouraged when you feel like maybe you're stopping yourself from doing things, and then you're saving, and then your friend just comes and gets your savings, or maybe just buy something. Then I'm like, how am I punishing myself? Let me also go. So let's just go and buy. Those are things like you could call those like challenges, because they are like drawbacks. Because the other one will like maybe feel like you're drawing them back because they can't do what they want. And maybe the person that wants to save maybe will also feel drawn back, and then you end up now going back to zero. But through the years, it's something that you keep learning over the years. Even as you talk about it over the years, you decide to say, okay, now it hasn't worked well. What can we do to make it work better? But all in all, the important thing is that you have to just make sure that you know, like you said, this is the money we have. This money we have, it's up to, I don't know whether it's the next 2 months, or we're not expecting any more money in the so that you really know how to plan, because it's very important to plan. Because you can have a lot of money right now, and you can just go in the shop and just shop. But do you know when you're going to have your next money? It's also very important. I know it's maybe easier if you have jobs and you know that every month you're going to have this certain amount of money, but there are certain times maybe you're doing business, and in business money doesn't come like the same exact time and the same amount of money. So you always have to know that you need to save, and you need to also maybe do some investments, which we're still trying to work on those things.
In hindsight, it's like we had a good plan, right?
Yeah.
Like we had a good plan, got some advice even like from Primerator and like all those things put together.
Yeah.
But I feel like where we messed up was like we had the good plan, but it just kind of felt like we took it so casually.
Yeah.
Right? Because
Wasn't
like I have got a
intentional.
good plan, but like until you see it, oh snap. So the plan actually could have worked if we didn't take it casually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, it's a good theory, but then let's see how life goes.
Yeah.
So I guess also that's, like one of the things we've kind of taken note of. I feel like it's very easy to take things casually when you haven't experienced like the negative to that. Yeah. So it's like, okay, it sounds nice.
Yeah.
But yeah. If it sounds nice, do it. If the plan makes sense, do it. Implement it. Or else, you find out the hard way. And I feel like even, like what you said, certain conversations that were hard to have, it hurts to have that conversation. But I feel like it also helped to have that conversation. Which I feel like for me also made me realize something. I know I'm going off a tangent a little bit, but I feel like one of the things we observed about myself is it would be hard for me to open up about ugly stuff, right? So like if I feel like you've messed up in a way that's like offended me or whatever, like I won't say it because I'm like, let's not get into that. Let's be lovey-dovey. Let's enjoy the peace, but it's not really the peace, right? And so even having that conversation is like, it's ugly. I don't like going through this, but going through that helped. And I feel like for me, the lesson I got from that is sometimes things might get ugly before they get better, and like you have to be willing to go through the ugliness of it all, so that you can enjoy the beauty behind it, rather than pretending that things are beautiful when they are not.
Yeah.
Just trying to avoid an ugly situation. Like go through it, go through the emotions, the ugliness, to enjoy the beauty at the other side of it. So
Yeah, so last year was quite it was a hardish year for us financially. Because I won't say it was hard, it was a very blind year. Like, we're just chilling and didn't have any plan. We had a plan, but we're not executing it, as we said. And then the hard time came, and then we had to get out of that also, because you need to work to get out of it.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think it's only been a year and 2 months, but right now I think learning from our lesson, we're in a better place, and we're even incorporating giving more to our finances. I mean, we've learned so much even from the couples that came on this channel. But one thing God has really spoken to us for this year is just giving and blessing people, and even just changing our relationship with money, and not always seeing it as something that's for us to hold, but how can we bless people? And so that's a part of our financial journey that I'm very excited for. Like, God has given me so much joy about that, like the just giving more. And so we're still growing and learning, and I'm sure this year we'll have so many lessons, but
See you in 2 years, 2 months.
So I know it's easy to look back on it now and laugh about, like, oh, he was financially irresponsible, but in the moment, how is it for you? Did it come with feelings? Did it come with the thought of, oh, what have I gotten myself into? Like, what was the actual feeling in the moment when you're navigating that?
Yeah, tell us.
Anger most of the time, especially when you're having the same conversation like over and over, and this person is not adjusting. And then, like, growing up, I was raised by a single mom, so I've always had some sort of financial anxiety, which just comes when you're raised by a single mom, and she's just trying to make ends meet. So I already had that thing, and then you partner with somebody who just wants to go crazy. So that didn't help, because it made me more anxious and more like, okay, now I have to bear this load of making sure everything. And sometimes you also just want to breathe and know that your friend has your back. But in those moments, it felt like I had to be the one to carry it on my own. And so years down the line, when I was pregnant and on bed rest, and he was able to take that load, it made up for some of those anxieties that had built up during that time of, can I trust this person? What if I'm not around? Well, then what will he do? And he was able to rebuild that trust. So that was helpful for us to go through. And from the time I was pregnant with Kiara, that was 2017? Yes, 2017, gave birth 2018. He's been managing our finances this entire time, because even when I was not well, I didn't have the capacity. Like, I just didn't have the capacity. So he took care of things, and it just helped me to trust that he has me covered. Such that even now that I'm doing better and I'm trying to take on more to lighten his load and take back some of the things that I used to do before I got sick, finances being one of them. It's almost like full circle. It's like a full circle moment, because we've grown and learned, and then now we are back to, okay, let's do this way.
I think also for, like I was saying, for me to pick it up, it was easy because the blueprint was already there and it was working. So how more irresponsible can you be?
Just follow the plan.
Just follow the plan.
That's all you got.
At least I didn't fail, Would have been like, okay, now you're just, I don't know, there's no hope for you. So the blueprint was there. So the plan was there. So it was easy. We had already worked out, this is our budget, this is what we're doing. They look the same. Money has come. So I wasn't going to embezzle the funds for rent and whatever, so that kind of like helped. And now like she's saying, so now it's flipping. So from last year, she's able to, because the school and all these other things that we do, managing all those things together, budgets. I can't do it on my own, and we've found that one of the biggest areas that has been suffering is our investment, like non-existent.
Yeah, just living for today.
Yeah. So in her picking up some of the home stuff and the school stuff, I can now focus on getting our investments going, and I think that again, it's the plan is there, so we just stick to the plan and what we've been doing.
In the beginning, like before I got married, I really had like this. I actually used to tell him that I actually don't want to work for a very long time. I want to stop work. I want to do business. I want to do things like that. And I'm still working on that, and we are still working on that. But one thing I should tell you is that you cannot have a solo financial plan in marriage, while the other one also has their own financial plan, because both of them won't work. You have to just plan everything together and work towards achieving your financial goals together. Even as you run your home, you decide together what will work, and if something can wait, don't insist. Even if it's saving is good. Even if it's investing is good, but you still have to consult your partner and decide to say, is it the right time now for us to do this investment, or is this the right amount for us to save? Because even if you're doing the right thing, you're saving or maybe you're investing, but if you don't consult your partner, it can also be a source of conflict, and it can be a drawback. Maybe the other partner won't buy into the business, and it doesn't work if you're just working on it alone. So I know there are certain times that I've tried to convince him to do something. It's a good thing, but I can't do it till he says yes. Sometimes maybe I'll get discouraged, but then I just keep talking about it till he agrees or till he buys into the idea, because that's the only way that I need what do you call it? Government support. Because if the government is not in support of what you're doing, even if it's a good thing, it doesn't work out well. So over the years, we have learned through mistakes and through like maybe bad decisions, financial decisions, or good financial decisions, we've learned to actually work together.
Growing the muscle to not live at the end of your means, because I know there's living within your means and living above your means, but there's also a spot there in the middle where you live right at the end of your means. It's not above and it's not below, but it's right at the end. And when you live at the end of your means, it's just one emergency or one tragedy away from just like losing everything. So we've also developed that muscle of not being in that space of, okay, this is the trend, this is what people are driving now, this is where people are living now, you must have this and you must have that, but always remaining in a place of saying, hey, what are our means? What can we afford? What can we give up? Because that's another thing, especially at the beginning of our marriage. It was like the height of social media, or rather, social media was really just like getting going. So it's very easy to get caught up in, oh, these people are going here, these people are going here. I remember, was it like the second year? No, Gabby was already born when we went. So maybe the second into the third year of our marriage, our whole connection group is like Bible study, went to Dubai. Okay, not everybody, but like most of them. They went to Dubai, and at the time
we planned a trip.
We all planned as a connection group, and then only maybe 2/3 went, and it was at the time it was sad. It's like we also want to go, but we had to look at our finances and say, hey, can we actually afford to do this? Does it make sense for us to do it right now? And when you decide that, you know, this is not a good time for us to take such a trip, you watch the pictures and you're like, comment, you guys look like you're having fun. And the next year we were able to go, and we went with our daughter, and we were also, she was
She was 6 months.
Yeah, 6 months old. We went up with our daughter and my sister and my brother-in-law, and it was amazing. Like, you won't die. It's okay to actually live within your means. It's okay for certain things to wait. Like our new mantra now, or mine rather, is the fortune can wait. Like, you can live within your means and you will be okay. The world will not end. Yeah.
I don't want to say, hey, can we have sex? Like, if I say that, it turns me off. I want it just to happen. Then, yes, so, it's stuff like that. I don't really want to talk about it. I just want, okay. And